you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold, and if you are a first timer, then welcome. Glad to have you guys here. I am going through a little bit of a cold of some sorts, a sore throat, so bear with me here in my voice. So let's just jump right into this. I will say, if you guys want to follow me, you can do so on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. If you like the videos, please hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell. That bell gives you notifications for when I send out videos just like this one, which is the daily setups, top plays for the day, motivational videos, inspirational videos, informational videos, weekly swings, monthly swings, all kinds of other things. Okay, guys? So follow along for some of that information. But let's get started on the one-day setups for Monday, March 28th. We'll go through it, and then we will also have the top picks as well in a separate video. So you guys already know by looking at this outside bar, inside bar, or a 3-1 setup that this will be one of our top plays for Monday. But Airbnb is the first one, so these 3-1 setups are always super powerful. And again, just for the newcomers, we'll go back and we'll try and find some 3-1 setups for you guys on Airbnb. They are a very rare pattern. So there's 3 in a row right here, but they're from August. Okay, so they don't happen very often. And I'll just show you what happens on these, okay? So 3-1, and we have a nice gain here from the break of here, the bottom of this wick. Another 3-1. This one we hit targets and then we reversed back up. There's one more over here, 3-1. Break, and we're gone on a $3 gain. So they're super powerful plays. That's why I will always have them on my watch list. Okay, so Airbnb, we can take breaks of the high and the low of this inside bar, which is showing consolidation within the stock. It's like a spring getting ready to explode one way or the other. Okay, so we've got 170.61 we can take for calls, or 164.13 that we can take for puts. The month, quarterly, and yearly are all green. The week and the day, obviously, we won't know till Monday where these two will lie. Okay, so next up is Plug Power, PLUG. PLUG, again, another super rare pattern, is a double inside bar, or a 1-1 setup. Okay, so again, we'll look for the break of the high or the low of the wicks of the current candle. Okay, which is this one. I'm just going to move this down just a hair as we go into there. Okay, and then same thing. We can go back in time and look to see the last time we had a double inside bar. I don't even see one here on Plug. I don't think there's ever been a double inside bar on the daily on Plug. So this is the first one. They are a powerful setup. Calls at 28.24, puts at 27.01, okay? And if we're looking for targets, I'll just show you guys how to do that real quick. I'll change that to green. I also have a weekly swing video coming out for you guys, so stay tuned for that as well. Be on the lookout for that. And this is how we set our targets, guys. We just take the preceding wicks, okay? And you can call it magnitude, you can call them pivot points, you can call them targets. When we're going to the downside, like this is where the bulls have their stop losses. And if we're going to the high side, such as there and there, still magnitude, still pivot points, still targets, or it's where the bears have their stop losses, okay? So that is how we draw our targets on our charts. Okay, next up is Nike. Nike has an inside bar. We can take calls at 133.74, puts at 131.71, and again, you can just see where our targets are here. Okay, and same to the high side here and here. You guys can mark those on your own charts. Okay, BIDU had a 2 down that finished green. A 2 down is a bar that only crosses to the low side of the previous candle. A 2 up only crosses the high side of a previous candle. But this is a 2 down that finished green, not red. So that shows me a higher probability, which is what we play. We play probabilities on stocks, okay? The way from what the candlesticks are showing us. So probabilities tell us that this is likely to go up based on this being a 2 down and green, okay? And that's what we play. If we don't trigger this, we don't have to get into the play, and it's as simple as that. Okay, so calls at 147.85. DraftKings has an inside bar, currently the full time frame to the downside. So we can look for calls at, I'm just going to tuck these in a bit better. We can look for calls at 1917 and puts at 1798. We also have this weekly target to the downside, okay, for weekly swings. Again, you can check out that video as well. But weekly swings or daily plays, we can take puts at $17.98. And guys, here's an example of what an inside bar does. Okay, so this is Friday's candle. This is Thursday's candle. Thursday we had an inside bar, and we came down and hit 1, 2, and not quite the third target. This was really good money playing this inside bar, okay? Next up is pins, PINS, has an outside bar. Outside bars break the high and the low of the previous bar, or if we're talking the Strat, it's a 3 bar. Currently full time frame to the downside. Again, the week and the day are dependent on what happens on Monday, but we can take calls at 26.47, puts at 25.13, and if we break this low and we're in, then we likely hit targets here, which is the swing play for the weeklies, okay, and the puts on the weeklies, okay? So if I just go to the weekly chart, there is where our weekly trigger is, okay? We can see that on the daily chart right here. So if we break this, our first target is the trigger on the weekly. So the day triggers the week, okay? Just like the hour could trigger the day, could trigger the week. So if you want to look for maybe an early entry point, you just go down to the hourly and look at that. But it's basically, that's the way the Strat works is, you know, the 30 could trigger the hourly, could trigger the daily, okay? Or the 5 could trigger the 15, could trigger the 1 hour, okay? So a little more advanced stuff as we go through this, but the basics of it are break the triggers, get in, and take money at your targets, okay? QQQ, excuse me, has a 2 up that finished red, so we explained to you the 2 downs. The 2 ups only pass the high of the previous candle, okay? So this is a 2 up. It did finish red, so we're going to look for puts at 354.84 based on it finishing red. If it was green, I wouldn't be looking at a reversal on that so much, okay? CAT is up next, CAT, again, 2 down that finished green. The time frame looks good to the upside. If you want this indicator, you can go into your indicator tab in TradingView, type in time frame continuity, and the author is Boardrider B. That's this one right here that's highlighted, okay? So that's CAT. We can take calls at 223.75. Adobe, ADBE, 2 up that finished red. Time frame for the most part is red. Again, dependent on the day and the week. Tomorrow we'll see. We can take puts on this one at $426. AMD had a 2 up that finished red, so we can take puts at 117.26. ATVI was a 2 up that finished red. We can take puts at 79.50. BA had a 2 down that finished green, okay? And here's a perfect example, guys. It doesn't always work out. We had a 2 down here on Friday, or on Thursday, that finished green, and the very next candle was also a 2 down that finished green. But we didn't trigger here, so we had no play. So again, I'll look for this to reverse to the upside again. We can take calls at 113.86. CCL is Carnival Cruise Lines. a 2-up that finished red, puts at $18.22. CRM is an outside bar, so we can take calls at the break of the high of this bar, 215.72, or puts at 208.68. D-Dog had a outside bar followed by an inside bar. This is another powerful pattern, a powerful setup. Okay, I don't even know. Let's go back to see if we can find one here. Inside, here's one right here. Back in January. Inside bar, outside bar, and boom. Look at that run. From 137, what are we at? 137.55 to 147. A $10 run on the day. That's really good money, guys. Inside bar followed by an outside bar, or a 1 followed by a 3. Another really powerful pattern. We are also at the top of this broadening formation here, okay? So this very well could come down on Monday for D-Dog. Disney DIS, a 2-up that finished red. Okay, so we can look for puts at 138.12. DocuSign DOCU has an inside bar, so we can take calls at 104.46. Puts at 98.37. The month, quarterly, and yearly are red. We are at the top of this broadening formation here, so it is possible that we could see puts or see this thing trend downwards. Also have what looks a bit like a pivot machine gun here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Just a continuation of higher lows, okay? So this could come tumbling down on Monday, so pay attention to DocuSign. MNST is Monster, a 2-up that finished red. Puts at 78.07, and again, here's our weekly trigger, which is our daily target, okay? The day triggers the week, so we'll see what happens with Monster on Monday. NVDA is NVIDIA. We had a 2-up that finished red. We're at the top of the broadening formation, so we can look for puts at 272.40 on NVIDIA. ORCL. ORCL, what do we have here? A high of 82.82. Okay, so we had a 2-up that finished red. It's barely up by 2 cents, okay? It's 2 cents higher than this green candle. So we'll look for puts at 81.25 on ORCL. PTON is Peloton. We had a 2-up that finished red, so puts at 27.84. SNAP is Snap. Again, here's that inside bar, outside bar, guys, okay? So calls at 37.23, puts at 34.76. We'll see if we have an outside, inside on here somewhere. I won't go back for very long, but we'll go take a peek. Outside. So, as I said, these are also very rare patterns. I don't see one here on Snap, so let's move on to Teladoc. Has an outside bar, so we can take calls at 70.07, puts at 65.13, and again, here is our weekly trigger. So our first target is the weekly trigger on T-Doc. Okay, so you'll see that in the weekly swing play video that I have out. Tesla, high premiums on this one, so it's tough for smaller accounts to trade, but we've got a double inside bar on Tesla, so pay attention to this one tomorrow, guys. We also have a pivot machine gun on this. Higher low, higher low, higher low, all the way up over like the past, 10 days or whatever this is. So you could look for a reversal off of here. Pay attention to Tesla on Monday. TTD is the trade desk. Outside bar, so calls at 68.93, puts 62.88. Twitter, outside bar, calls 39.47, puts 37.69. Uber, inside bar on Uber. We'll look for calls at 34.92, puts at 33.55. Lyft, here we go. 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar, big powerful pattern. Calls at 39, puts at 37.21 on Lyft. Chewy has an inside bar, so we can take calls at 46.64, puts at 43.52. GE is General Electric, inside bar, outside bar setup, another powerful pattern. So we can take calls at 94.93, puts at 93.41. This day trigger is also the weekly swing trigger on GE, okay? Macy's, just ticker symbol M, 2 up that finished red. So we'll look for puts on Macy's at $25.97. And again, as you notice, our first target is the weekly trigger, okay, on Macy's. BBBY, it's Bed Bath & Beyond, had a 2 up that finished red. So we will look for puts at $22.17. And again, here is our weekly trigger here. Should probably also be $22.17 is what I'm guessing. This weekly trigger is gone. So no weekly trigger on Bed Bath & Beyond for us this time around. Target TGT. That is a no play. It should not be on there. And that's it, guys. That's our list, our main list for March 28th, Monday. And like I said, check out the video for our top 3 daily picks for Monday as well. That one will be out soon. And until the next one, bye-bye.